We're live with the WRLA, Rock Leadership Academy news station, and I'm here joined with two wonderful students that are going to ask me some questions about my experiences on set of Black Panther.
Okay. When did you want to be actor / stunt double?
I think they honestly kind of came in different parts. So I knew that I wanted to go into acting maybe around sometime in middle school, honestly. Is when I really kind of sat down and said, okay, I think that I can do what I see people do on television all the time. And as I got older and closer to the actual premiere of Black Panther, I began to lean more on my martial arts experience and stuff, and just looking to get into the industry any way that I could. And the opportunity for a stunt position opened up, and I took it. So I would say that the stuntman role came a little bit later in life, but I knew early on that I wanted to go into acting and theater.
Yeah. Who would you say was your role model growing up?
Probably, honestly, my mom. And the reason why I say that is because she kind of taught me a lot of ways to truly handle a situation, not just saying that, okay, I want to do this, but how are you going to put together a game plan to actually get there? So that's been one of the driving forces in helping me chase my dreams and make them a reality.
What is your biggest strength / weakness while doing stunt double?
Okay, so my biggest, I would say, strength is my ability to learn fast. I have a mathematics degree from Fort Valley State University, and during my experience studying for that undergraduate degree, it took a lot of learning of, how do I expose myself to new information, break it down to where I can understand it, and then apply that information. So the training that I got in school, learning how to learn, I would say is one of my biggest strengths. So when it comes to the weaknesses, the weakness that I kind of had on set was just a lack of experience compared to some of the other people that I worked with on the film. You have people who have been acting since they were, children, and now they're in their 30s and 40s, and here I am on my first year at college. So I would say that my strength helped me cover up my weakness in a lot of ways. Of my ability to learn fast helped me overcome the lack of experience that I initially had. So yeah.
And if you could describe your career in one sentence, how would you say it?
It's a blessing. I definitely came into the industry at a time to where the culture is shifting. A lot of films and production are moving out to Atlanta, and they're looking for more African Americans. So with that, those two niches, I moved myself to the Atlanta area afterwards, and I got in where I fit in, and it's been a very blessed opportunity.
Do you enjoy doing what you do?
Of course. The job that I have now allows me to kind of be a big kid, and I still get to play make believe, but this time, I'm getting paid for it. So that's a blessing in and of itself. You really enjoy work when you come to work and there are a multitude of people who are all excited to be there, that are ready to work, and we put all of our talents together in order to make a great project.
Mm-hmm. If you had one advice for all the kids out there that wanted to do what you do, what would you say?
One piece of advice for the kids out there. I would say be great, because nothing really comes to, I would say, the averageness. You have to be great in everything that you do. How you do anything is how you do everything. So it starts off small, and looking to excel and go above and beyond what's expected of you is one of the biggest things that I can say, because once you get in front of the right people who have the ability to say, okay, I want this person to work with me on this project, or I want to work with this person on this film, you go in and you showcase something that they haven't seen before. You shock them as far as what they were expecting out of even someone that was auditioning, and now you have that opportunity to be in one of the biggest projects out there. So yeah, just keep working and do everything in excellence is my piece of advice.
How is it on set, like with your cast members and producers?
It's a lot going on. it's a lot of fun times, and you know we have great conversations on set in between takes and everything. But while we're rolling, things are very professional. You know, we have 100 PAs and ADs that are all on walkie-talkies that are relaying messages from the director to the cast and crew. And so there are a lot of moving parts. You know, you have engineering teams, you have makeup and hair designers, you have clothing designers on set. You have, of course, the directors, everyone there. So you really get to see how all the different parts of the industry come together to actually produce one film. So,
okay. What obstacles did you have to face to become what you are today?
I had to really overcome, I would say, doubt. You know, one of the biggest things is that you really have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in what you're doing more so than the people around you can see right now. And sometimes you have to believe in yourself even more than even you see for yourself at the current moment. Just believing that, you know, you're here for a purpose, and that you can actually accomplish everything that you feel that you're put on this earth to do. So that would be one of my biggest things.
How did you get to where you are now?
I listened. There's an old scripture that says obedience is better than sacrifice, and I definitely chose the obedience route as best as I could. I still was stubborn and bumped my head here and there, but just being willing to listen to people who had been there before and experienced certain things that I hadn't experienced before, I would definitely say helped get me to where I am. And there are a lot of people who repeat mistakes of people around them. You know, they see things happen one way, they get sucked into the politics of what's going on, or, you know, he can do this, but how come it's not okay for me to do it? You know, there's certain things that you have to learn, that if you want something different, you have to do different things. And so being obedient to the people that were telling me those kinds of things, and not being afraid to distance myself from the average norm of what people were doing, definitely helped me make me who I am and got me here. So,
What high school did you go to?
I graduated from Northside High School in 2011. I was a part of their engineer magnet program at Northside High School. So all of these things really kind of contributed and played a factor into, you know, even me getting the role with Black Panther. There's a lot of engineering on set that a lot of people don't realize. The cameras and the camera rigs use a lot of mechanical engineering, for one. And even down to the work that I do as a stuntman, a lot of times they have us on wires, and in order to calculate where we're going to land at, they have to dial in the angle at the top of the rope, the PSI on one side. They have to calculate our body weight to see how hard that PSI is going to fling this amount of weight, and where is it going to put it according to that angle at the top. So there's a lot of mathematics that goes on, even on set, that my high school and, you know, middle school kind of prepared me for. So,
how did you take it when you were on set, like with so much going on, like you said? Like, did you feel uncomfortable, or, you know, you was just used to it?
So the first day was definitely an experience that I had to get used to. You know, you walk on set for the first time, and you see Michael B. Jordan standing at the top of the vibranium aisle. You look down the hill, you have Chadwick Boseman and the director Ryan Coogler, you know, talking, and then you look over to the side and you see Lupita Nyong'o, and basically from there, it is a bit captivating to be around so many people that are so notable, but eventually you hit a mark that says, okay, well, I'm in the same room as these people, I'm in the same arena, and I have a responsibility to do my job and to do my part just as well as anyone else on the set. So from there, I began to kind of calm down a little bit more and really dial in on, you know, what is it that I'm there for, and just trying to do the best job that I can. So yeah, once I got there, the starstruck aspect kind of, it left a little bit, enough for me to actually get my job done and do what I need to do. I would say the biggest mark is inspiring change. Is really planting the seeds in other people that they can do great things too. It's one thing to accomplish great things for yourself, but no person has ever really changed the world by themselves. And a lot of times what you'll see throughout history is that once an influential person leaves, or they pass away, that a lot of that legacy gets scattered at that point. And there's no one really there to pick up the torch and keep things going. So I think that if I can, really inspire and empower people to get out, to chase dreams, to believe in themselves, and to overcome obstacles, that's one of the greatest marks that I can leave.
What do you do on your spare time when you're not busy, trying to learn your...
Yeah. So a lot of my free time is spent training to make sure that I can still perform at that level. It's a constant thing. I spend a lot of time making music, writing music and performing music with my friends. A lot of my free time goes into, I would say, just staying fit and expressing creative hobbies. I draw, I paint. Those are two of my other big hobbies that take up a lot of my free time, and just researching and studying different things that I think that can help me on the journey that I'm on. So.
Did you ever feel like you had to compete with other actors?
Yeah, it's very competitive, but one thing that you kind of realize too early on is that the competition isn't as bad as it seems. A lot of times we're actually on the same side, so if one person does really well, especially someone that looks like me, it helps open up the door for people to want to hire more people that looks like me, right? So as films like Black Panther continue to do well, and more movies with black casts members start to come out, and people see that, hey, these people can act, these people have talent, that it's a profitable business. In the long run, I think that competition helps out everyone more so than it does hurt. So.
Who is your greatest supporter?
Once again, my mother, Jachin Myers. She's been very instrumental from day one as far as getting me involved with different programs and different sports, different after-school programs. And once I was in those programs, showing up to support, showing up to different events, helping me with late-night projects. Even early on in me chasing my acting career, my mom went with me to a lot of those talent showcases. I did a talent showcase called Shine, and basically they bring people in from all over the United States and even some people in South Africa to come perform on one stage in front of a couple, a good bit of talent agents and music A&Rs. And she was there with me through that entire process of me learning a little bit more behind the scenes, and all the way up to the point of me performing and getting 10 callbacks. So, yeah, she's been my biggest supporter without a doubt.
Ms. Myers worked here.
Yeah, she did. She was a technology teacher here at Rothschild, and she led the TSA program. And once again, the time that she spends investing in a lot of kids, I think it's just phenomenal. So you all have a lot of great, talented teachers, around you. And I think that in a lot of ways you'll grow to find it. They're some of your biggest supporters as well. They all want to see you all do well.
Did anybody ever try to put you down and say that you weren't meant to do what you're doing now?
Yes, a couple people here and there. I didn't have too many people that just flat out hated and said, "Oh, you can't do whatever else." But there were a couple of people who, when I began to confess that, hey, this is what I want to do, this is what I think I'm going to do, this is what I think I'm destined to do, there are people who kind of laughed and said, "Oh, this guy's a little crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about." But I think that as long as you know who you are, you have that firm foundation that what you're doing is worthwhile, and you keep at it. None of that really matters. There are no gatekeepers to the industry to a certain extent. There are people that are in positions to where they can, bring people in. But I think that when you start to look at things like someone told me that I can't do this, so I can't do that, you begin to handicap yourself in a lot of ways. You cut yourself out of your own potential. So the key is for, when you hear things like that, is to kind of ignore it and keep moving. Stay focused on the goals that you have set for yourself and continue to strive forward.
If you had any advice for a middle school student here at Wrla, what would it be?
I would say learn everything that you can and don't take any bit of information for granted. One of the things that I kind of found out that I think really helped me in my career was understanding that everything is connected. So math is connected to science. Science is connected to social studies. Social studies is connected to art and how we perceive it. A lot of the culture comes from that. So as much as you can learn across the board, I would say learn. And you may not really recognize what you're learning at the particular point, but as you get older and you learn more things, you begin to make new connections and you begin to see the larger picture of how everything comes together. So from language arts to mathematics and science, I would say just learn what you can, and the moment that you can find a way to combine all these different subjects into something that is unique to you, that's the point where you'll really start to see a lot of success that's different than anyone else's.
Thank you for being with us today and answering questions.
Thank you all for having me. All right.
Now